important stuff happening.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the early edition of Crowdsurfing. I'm Tom Basil.
Which way do we go now?
Yeah, it's you.
I knew.
Hi, good morning,
Put the phone
everybody. It's too early, okay? My name is Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Joy Evans.
What is this? It's like 10 in the morning or so. I haven't been awake at this time in years.
It's true. He hasn't.
Are you awake right now?
You know, there are some people I know
Arguably.
who that would not be a far stretch for them to say such things.
That's very true.
Speaking of that, the reason we're doing this early is because we have Top 100, Part 2, 90 to 81 coming up later today at 1 o'clock. And we got Top 100s going up tomorrow.
Yeah.
So there's lots of Top 100s all over the place. So we're fitting this in between here, Crowdsurfing, where we talk about shows that are ending. Shows that are ending. That'd be a different...
No,
That'd be sad, yeah.
Most of them.
We're taking a look at crowdfunding projects that are ending in the next week or 10 days. But before we do that, let's take a look at a Backerkit project you can back now. Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell, and let's take a look here at Wild Gardens. So Wild Gardens is something you can make a late pledge for right now. As you can see, it's fully funded from Rose Gauntlet. I'm very much looking forward to getting my copy of this here. So Rose Gauntlet is about making delicious foods. I'm ready to eat pretty much everything and have that raspberry soda while we're at it. But you can see some great artwork. You see the double-sided pathboard here. Look at this. I mean, again, we could just spend a lot of time looking at the artwork, but the game itself, about collecting the different ingredients or the source tokens that you need, the source tokens to get the ingredient tokens to then make the dishes. There's different people that you're going to be serving and giving the food to, and look at all that. So delicious. So this is coming out very soon, and you have a chance right now to jump in, get the nice add-ons, get the premium wooden ingredients pack. That's what I like, to get the stuff that looks better with some expansions and extra add-ons. Look at that cute little plushie. So this is Wild Gardens. It's on Backerkit, and you can definitely check it out right now. No. All right, here we go. We're going to start by taking a look at a project with a man holding up a sword.
What?
That doesn't narrow it down.
What?
Yeah, it doesn't narrow it down.
I know what you said.
That's the one I was thinking
Heroes
of.
of the Sanctum.
Boom, boom, boom.
In a world in which heroes are sanctified, you must fight other cards. Put together the best team. Solo mode, cooperative mode, card shuffling mode, backing it away mode.
Are you done?
I don't know why they didn't use that footage.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that
really
was
good.
great, yeah. Wow.
So what do y'all think about the artwork in this one?
I like it.
It exists.
It's fine. It's just very, very generic. It's kind of like,
I know it's
Yeah,
generic
it's-
fantasy, but
at least they call them different names, like Pyromage and Lightbringer. So it's a little different.
Which is a little better, yes, than the Paladin and what have you.
yeah, I like the whole proximity thing
That's
they're using. That's interesting.
Yeah.
It looks like it might work, a dungeon crawl with cards.
I think so, and I think it's interesting too. They're really selling on, like, if the proximity and you're next to it, you fight them together, and also you're taking the damage together.
was
kind of
weird,
stuff. I was like,
right?
that's interesting. Like, you really have to go cooperate hard on them and make sure you are managing those stats. So I thought it was interesting. A lot of game and maybe a small package, just some cards, you know.
Right,
It's
shared hit
intriguing.
points. Because really, for me, a dungeon crawl with cards is like, I would think would be great. Most of the time, they fail. Tiny
Yeah.
Epic Dungeons is one, and all that. It's like,
There's just so many games of that ilk.
yeah.
This one looks very generic, like Tom was saying. It looks a little generic. It looks a little dark, the printing, I mean. The whole thing looks just a little muted, a little dark.
Yeah.
The vibe I'm getting here from looking at this, the main thing I kept thinking was, gosh, haven't I seen this before? And that's not good, you know? That's not where you want your head to go when we're trying to look at a new game. That was my takeaway.
I think at first blush, but if you look more, like I said, mechanically, it seems like there's some interesting things going
I'll
on.
agree
I
with
think
that.
first impression, absolutely.
Because I
agree.
went, when it did the first dive into it, I went past it. Went back, and that's when I discovered the
Right.
proximity thing and all that. But you're right, at first glance, same thing.
I agree. Yeah,
Yeah,
but when you
so-
actually look at it, there's some neat mechanisms happening there, and if it can deliver on this like a travel size, kind of dungeon feel of a game,
Right.
that's
So you like
definitely
it because you
something
tend
in
not
my
to be really
wheelhouse.
into like the card games with powers kind of thing.
I think it would depend, like if this really is what it's selling, this dungeon crawler that in cards, kind of what I would want from, like you were saying, Tiny Epic or something
Or
like
one
that.
deck
Right, one
dungeon,
deck.
yeah.
Like if I'm traveling or something like that, something I'm playing in the hotel room, taking with me, or like I'm going to a convention this weekend and don't have a lot of packing space. If I could take something like this, I think if it really does fill that hole, that niche, then I am intrigued. So it's more like
They
we'll
usually
see.
let me down.
If this came in the mail, it would sit on our shelf for 3-4 months, I think. Just by looking at it. My
Yeah.
concern is,
That's
you're
true.
mentioning proximity and these mechanisms, but I would sit there and go, oh, there's so many of these, and they often don't work, and they're an oomph to learn. And I like the board. I like moving around. I like something else. So you take that away, that's fine. Card game's fine, but then it better really shine.
I think that's the thing. There's nothing. I
Yeah.
think that's a good point there. That there's nothing on a shelf that's going to make me. This could be great, and it could, really fill that void, that we're looking for. But if there's nothing to make me grab it off the shelf to give it that try, Wendy's calling.
Now, this is coming out in October, they're saying. This is a pretty fast turnaround on this one, so I guess maybe we'll know this year. I'm kidding. It will come out October next year, probably. All right. Well, maybe not. Man holding sword. Nirvania.
Oh, wow.
Collapsing
Not the
world.
last.
I may have moved those around.
I was like,
Be
that's
after each
great.
other. Now, this one, I am more interested in this. I like the, I don't know what it is. I'm getting more and more on board with these screen
CCGs?
printed meeples. This is not a CCG.
I
What are
wasn't
you
a
talking
fan
about?
of the
this
screen
is
printed
not, no.
meeples, but the land shifts around and people like it was a real weird setup. Wasn't this the one that they were like, or am I thinking of a different one?
No.
Anyway, they built up all this story about like the world is messed up, this and that, and eventually clans developed the ability to raise land and sink it. It was
Terraform.
this whole story basically to be like justify mechanically that you can add land chunks and take them away. But now that they got there, it sounds like a neat idea. I like the idea of sectioning off a board for the sake of area control.
Yeah, and terraforming
That was
while your area control.
Terraforming, yeah. It's
That
like,
was-
what?
So I was kind of confused by this though, because the pieces that you can terraform are oddly shaped, right?
They are.
And I saw two different pictures on here. One was a completely clean map, and then you set it up at the beginning of the game and then terraform from there. And another one was like printed. It had a starting.
Yeah.
So I guess that's my question: is like setup. Is it a random setup each time, or is there a standard starting point? I couldn't really gather that from this.
One thing I did like from the video of this, it shows this really well drawn like hero, right? And then it just morphs into this just like vector art meeple. And it, was
There is
just,
a
it
bit
made
of
me chuckle. I'm like,
I was going to say that. There's a bit of a disconnect because I think the artwork's awesome, and I like the meeples. They just don't necessarily belong in the
come
same
on, you gotta
thing.
show the little
Yeah, I like the artwork. I did not like the meeples.
Really?
And I get that they can't really do anything about wooden meeples. You know what I mean? But they're so goofy and cartoony looking. And then like, but the artwork is like hardcore,
Right.
like Magic the Gathering style artwork, like
Yeah.
full on, well drawn. Like,
I wonder if it's the start a lot, adding to that cartoon nature is the starkness of the white on those colors, because the colors
Maybe.
are kind of more earth tones. If it was like a tan or something like that, would that fit more, give it a better look
still wanna
instead of
play it.
being so
It looks
stark.
really good. What other game has he
I think the
done?
equivalent of
Tectonia was the original name of it.
fast-paced game and
That was a collapsing world. Now no.
Now we're building it up.
This looks like the same game and they renamed
yeah,
it.
I'm sure
Yeah,
it is.
it was
I like the
canceled.
title Tectonia better, though.
Yeah, I think so.
Is there a reason they changed it, I wonder?
There might be another game called that. Who knows?
But I like the idea. An area control game in which you get to shift the land. It's been done, or at the very least cutting off the land, like sort of chopping up the pieces. That's been done. But I like the way this looks. This seems like an interesting game. Some resource management, some area control, some fighting. The beasties in it that I guess you can control seem neat.
Yeah.
I like what's going on. I don't like the meeples. It makes the game look like a war game, and the artwork actually makes the game look like a bit of a war game when I think it's like a Euro game, pretty much through and through.
I don't know why. There's such a disconnect to me for the artwork in the Meeple that I'd
Yeah.
rather them just not even have artwork on the Meeple for some reason. I don't know. It's just
I just gotta get rid of the other artwork, and Meeples don't bother me as long as that's what you pick, one or the other.
right. Because
That's
this-
it.
Yes,
just that
yeah.
transition of the video, and they do it like 8 times.
They did it for every one of them. They show like the bear, and you get the little like boop, boop, little
then-
bear.
Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Do-do-do-do-do.
Because that's not even the same person. But it's the artwork's so good in this.
Yeah,
so.
it is. And it's interesting. Loopy says it would look a lot better with minis. I agree. I think it would look better with minis. But one, that's going to raise the price, and two, I do like the Meeples for the sake of in an area control game like this. You can quickly look down and be like, oh, the red, I have control over here.
Yes.
Blue,
that's true.
someone has control over here. So I think visually for this style of game, something like Meeples do work better.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's still a disconnect between the two.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely I'd play it.
More swords. These aren't being raised though. Millennium Blades. Again. I love that that's what it's called. Millennium Blades. Again. So if you've never played Millennium Blades, this is a game about playing CCGs, or trading card games. So in this game, have you ever played it?
No.
Have you played it, Camilla?
I've not.
So this is not a CCG. This is about play. This is like Comic Hunters for CCGs.
Sort of. You actually play the card game in it, but the card game's really
Have you
basic and meh. Each turn of the game is 15 minutes, and in those 15 minutes, you're walking around and you're opening packs. But once you play a trading card game, you know that you go through every card, you just take the last card. So every pack has one card in it. Because you're looking for the rare card. So you go around and you trade them with other players, and then you make your deck, and then at the end, you play the game against each other. But most of the game is literally about the other aspect of the hobby. Trading cards with people, buying packs, buying 6 packs, and opening them all and hoping you find a good one.
So you're actually doing this like a party game style? Like you're going around and opening packs and trading cards?
Think
Like,
negotiation style, but not necessarily
are
party
you
game.
sitting at a table?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a big board with all these different things you can do. Like you can buy these packs, you can buy better packs, you can buy...
Packs, okay.
but
there's not like actual
A pack is a
in this?
single card. It has a picture of a pack on the front, and then on the back it's a single card because they're saying that's the best card in that pack. You
Got
as
it.
a
It's a squishy baby.
like when Magic the Gathering buys, when you buy a pack, you just keep the rare. The rest of them you don't care about. That's not
True.
100% true, but that's... And then they have just all these different sets. I mean, there are so many different sets that you can stick in the game. And then, like I said, the game is pretty basic. It's almost like a cool version of War. But I like the stuff around it. It's kind of fun. It's about the hobby of CCGs without you having to pay for packs. Because you're doing it in-game. You have in-game currency. You trade with other players. And it's a timed 15-minute turn. But it's not really like, I got to hurry. 15 minutes is a long time to just kind of build your deck.
Not an escape.
Well, Escape, you also have the guy going,
Escape, bong. I would love for that to be that guy's actual voice. Bong, get back to the place you started.
Anyway, there's a ton
Bong.
of stuff here, so you can get it. It says here, literally, everyone loves... Oh.
Whoa, my. Yeah, that's an ad.
no.
Did you like buy stock? Wow.
It's been a while since I played this, but hey, you
tell
can
by
get it,
the
and
thumbnail.
I don't believe it's particularly expensive. The new Gamer 88, but I mean, you're getting a ton of stuff with that. One of the things that I do like about this game is, I mean, it's a pain to put together, but the money is paper money, but it's like a bunch of paper money with a thing wrapped around it, so you're throwing around stacks of cash.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I remember liking that because I've
That's
seen this game. I've never
interesting.
played it, but
Little
I've seen
briefcase.
it. Like a little, yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, and apparently the game was deeply out of print. Is partly why this is coming back now. He was saying that can't wait for the 10th anniversary edition. It's year 8, so this is 8 years old. He's like,
Oh, he's like,
it's got to come back now. You know what I mean? So yeah, I guess folks have been clamoring to get this, and it seems like that was right because it's making a lot of money.
So new artwork or no?
Oh, it
This
is.
It looks
Wow.
the same, I
It looks
think.
the same,
looks
but I'm sure that there's new expansions and stuff for people who already are playing. There's a lot of
Wait,
expansions
it's a
for the
heavy
game.
game, it says? Is that a brain heavy?
What does it say?
That is a brain heavy, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, they're saying it's heavy on strategy and stuff.
that's what I thought, yeah. But would you say that's true?
Yeah, but I mean, you could also just go in and just build a deck and see what happens. But you're trying to pick
But
cards
will
that
you
will help
win
you
if you do
best.
that?
Probably not.
So it's heavy.
Rome, Fate of the Empire. Also, it's solo game of the month. So this is from Gabe Barrett.
Oh,
This looks really interesting to me. They kept mentioning a couple of other games. They kept saying, oh, it's kind of like Mage Knight, which I've not played,
no.
and kind of like Res Arcana, which I have played and I really like it. The whole thing, I thought was going to be smaller than it turns out to be. There's quite a few cards in this, and tokens, and one meeple, a bunch of cubes. You put out this display, you're moving around, you're covering powers or abilities with other things, playing cards, manipulating a whole lot of stuff. This seems like a bit of a chunky game, like a medium weight Euro-style game with a lot of moving parameters. I like the look, I like the clean sort of design of it all. This one's talking to me.
That's really
It's
interesting
interesting,
because
yeah.
I think what we were saying about the other
what
one,
this
the
guy
other
did.
card game, I would
Hunted?
use the same statement here. I don't, sitting on the shelf, I have no reason to pull this one off. Nothing grabbed where it's like, oh, that's interesting.
Artwork-wise,
It definitely
you mean?
takes, no, just in general, like if
Okay.
it's sitting on the shelf, I don't think it's going to get pulled off to get played if you don't know the game.
This one looks a little brighter.
I found it more like cartoon. I really didn't like the cover. I think maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
one
it's
that
a
I
little
would not
clip
pick
arty,
up.
yeah. I think it looks a little brighter. There's less text. It seems a little less sort of trading card game jargony, this one.
Interesting.
I'm getting more of a Euro vibe, like symbol, cola, and this happens. I'm like, all right, I get that.
Yeah.
That's Euro-y.
Right, I think, yeah, again, same thing. Like, once I got past that and started looking at it mechanically, oh, interesting. But on the shelf, nothing grabbed me about this at all. You know? I don't think.
I'm also a fan of solo games that are a little smaller. And I don't mind if they're thinkier. I just want the footprint to be a little smaller. I'm not usually a fan of, say, like, oh, 5 Tribes has a solo mode. I'm like, that's great if you want to do that. I don't want to set up 5 Tribes to play by myself.
Or like they're
You know
saying
what I mean?
Mage Knight.
Yeah,
Like,
Mage Knight, I don't...
is like known for great solo mode. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
That's way too much work to...
So question here. This says here, this is from Gabe Barrett, who did Board Game Design Lab, and Best with One. And at the top it says Solo Game of the Month. And then it shows out this month's designer. And he did Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, which was good.
Okay, right.
Are they putting out a game a month here within this company?
Yeah,
Or
I
this one was
believe
just-
that's the idea. We covered one before.
Oh,
I
we
forget
did?
what it was, yeah.
And there's no print and play of this, by the way. Just people were asking.
There's
Oh,
a
wow.
print and play of something else coming up
Yeah,
later.
there is.
Yes, there is.
Which ones have we seen here, Tom?
This guy did Quests Over Coffee, Dyson
that one.
Crusoe,
Oh, that one. Quest Over Coffee. Like
Yeah,
that.
we-
and Hunted. Okay, so
I liked that
so
one.
it's from the.
Kobayashi Tower.
Yeah, okay, it was okay.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of these. The
Wonderful.
Quest Over Coffee and the Dyson Crusoe. Dyson Crusoe is the one I remember very distinctly.
I remember this one distinctly.
I do too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the coffee one.
Yeah, but this coffee one, like, it's he's not putting one of these out every month, is he?
Well, what was the
Think
date
so,
on that? I mean, look
yeah.
at it. We can see.
3/12/24. Wow.
Yeah.
I would be concerned only by the time he gets to month 12. Like, are you able to logistically make all these games
Well, I guess
that
it just-
quickly?
I mean, if he's not designing them, he's using other designers, right? And he's just handling the logistics.
12 games a year is a lot for a publisher.
Yeah, I mean, if they have one publisher and it's just art, it looks like most of them are just card games with a couple tokens. Like, they're not big, grandiose games. You know, if you have a manufacturer on board that you have good communication, I think it's possible. I think it is a lot. But I think it is still possible if you're very on top of things and organized.
My other concern would be the same I feel about Button Shy. Button Shy puts a game out every month. They find amazing ones. And then there's
Right.
meh.
It seems like what
Yeah.
he's trying to
When are
do
you
is
meeting that quota?
get these designers that would not have an audience
Yeah.
and trying to make them wider. But you're right. I mean, once you get to the whole actual production aspect, how that's going to...
Yeah, do you take one
Go.
just to make that quota?
This
Like,
one looks
oh,
good.
fine.
The coffee one looked good. Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah.
Maybe it will work.
Yeah.
All right. Speaking of a bunch of little games here, we got Bebop, Shuffle, and Swing. I'm sorry. Bebop. Shuffle and Swing. And
Cool.
Cat Blue's the big gig. It's not Bebop,
Yeah.
Shuffle, and Swing, which I would also buy that game. These are 3 games here from Bitewing Games. Now, their last little group of games, they put 3 together last time. They had that Soda Pop That
Oh,
game I
that was
hated
them?
so much and still hate.
Didn't they do a group of 3 since then?
They probably have.
I feel like they did last time. They've done quite a few. They've actually ramped up quite a bit. These guys went from, gosh, a couple years ago being a brand new company to now they have, I think, like 9 or 12 products. It's wild.
Well, look at what they've
I
done
guess
in the
speaking of
past.
somebody within a year
Yeah,
span, you know,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
what we were just talking about with the
They
other company.
They also publish them. Like, there's no game. All the games here are out.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. They went
Yeah.
very quickly from 0 to 60 here.
And you
Yeah.
love Spectral, right? Is that the one you love?
I really like Spectral, and
And that's
I
a-
like Zuvadis.
And that's
Everyone
a wide
does.
spectrum there of, Trailblazers to Zuvadis, just thinking
Yeah.
size and scope and design. I mean, there's a lot of variability there.
Yeah. These guys remind me a little bit of All Play, actually. The way they put together a page. The idea of putting kind of like 3 or 4 little games together. They get them out, too. They get them out, you know?
Yeah, distributed by All Play, so that's.
Maybe
they are?
that.
Maybe they're
that's
working
it.
together.
There's a little
Maybe.
DNA there. Anyway, these games look really interesting. So there's a reprint, which is the little the cat one, the first. What's it called? Not Bebop and not
The last one. The
Yeah.
last one on the page, yeah.
I'll get there.
That one's a Knizia,
wait.
an old Knizia game that they're reprinting. And then the other 2 are, especially the Shuffle and Swing one, and maybe the Bebop. The Bebop one, I think, was the most sort of old school Euro game looking one, like
Yes.
claiming locations. You want to seat your people around an act, and then you put the die in there, and that represents the people watching the show. When it's fully surrounded, they perform.
Which
So it's like, oh, interesting. Very abstracted on the one hand,
Yeah, that's cool.
very Euro game and thinky on the other.
It kind of reminded me that one reminded me of Draft and Write Records from Inside Up Games that just came out, which
Okay.
is more of a not roll and write, it's a draft and write. Oh, never mind, it's in the title, I guess. But draft and write game. But it kind of reminded me of the same thing where you're trying to put together and match these synergies up, you know,
Yeah.
and that it's drafting cards, and this one it's dice placement. But I really I liked that one a lot. I was definitely most pulled into that one
Yeah,
of
this
the
one-
3. Cat Blues I have no interest in.
The swinging one looked really swinging, the shuffle and swing or whatever.
Yeah.
That looked
Very.
The rondelle
Yeah,
within
very
rondelles thing. These look
interesting.
good.
Yeah, seems like it has a lot going on too. You know,
Yes.
so I thought that one.
Nightwing
was
Games has me hooked.
But
Their stuff is good quality. You want to look
They
at
know
Shuffle
what
and
they're
Swing?
doing,
Sorry,
man. They
hang on.
know what they're doing. These guys are great.
no, they have the best quote by out of context by Alex Radcliffe up here, where I think he says like, "Chaining families is very satisfying," and I'm like, "Woof." Oh my God.
That's amazing.
You're right. I need to find his quote now.
Wow.
It's, I was like, okay, that could be taken out of context. Oh, there it is right there. Here we go. That's the best out of context
That's
quote.
amazing.
No one read that?
No, I think, like, okay. What kind of? It's out of context. Well, what context would work with that, Alex?
But you know
It's
what?
only in a board game, right? That
yeah,
makes
yeah.
any sense at all.
With Your Honor, it's out of context.
Before you're like, I'm gonna need to know what's in those ellipses. I couldn't even.
No, what's right there?
Don't cut that part. It's okay if it's a little long.
All right. So now we have Cosmos Empire's Culture Clash reprint and expansion. And you know where I was talking earlier about that first game showed up, we went and played it for months?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the very epitome of that. And
Yeah.
I know this because we have like 3 or 4 games that look like this on our shelves, and every
Yep.
time my eyes roll right over them.
I thought you were gonna tell me we already have it, and I'd be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
That would have made
Checks out.
sense too. No, I agree. This just looks so generic. The font, the artwork. You just keep on sliding. You step on this one and keep on sliding.
But it does look simple, so that's what
Yeah.
attracts
It
me to it.
does.
Like, oh, a simple little game. I'm more attracted to that. I just wish the cover didn't look so.
That's the thing. I'm not saying it's a bad. I mean, I don't think any of us are saying it's a bad game or anything. We're just saying that it's not something that's really going to hook, especially these small little games that are simple. Just need something, and
It gives a
just
simultaneous
not there.
like space base, like as far as rolling the die,
Yeah.
and everyone's
Yeah.
getting those resources.
Right.
But I'm like you. You guys are really big about generic fantasy. It's like, oh, that bothers me. Generic sci-fi is getting that point from me because I'm like,
Yeah.
this
Sure.
is
I think
Well, you look
generic
at these
space.
card frames too. That's it. Yeah,
Just make
space.
space.
You look at the
Good
card
point.
frames and the writing, like the font they chose to go
Yeah.
with, and what the card frames look like. I look at that and I go, Ooh, it's 1992 again.
Yeah.
That's what that looks like to me.
Yep.
That's a cool metal D4 that would kill a human being if you step on it.
I like
Man.
that. Can I get
Wow.
a bag of those?
I am the destroyer of
Throw them all
worlds.
over the floor.
No, if you throw it at the wall, will it stick?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All right. Molehill Meadows. This is a little roll and draw. I'm not even sure what the terminology is.
Polyomino?
It's a
Polyomino?
flippin' right, I think. Polyomino
Okay.
flippin' right.
Yeah.
Somebody said
Yeah.
it's Smurfing right. I like the idea of because Smurf is anything, right?
That
The
sounds better than verb
Wait,
and
what
right.
is it?
Smurf and
Smurf. like the
little
Smurfs.
blue creatures?
Yeah.
That means anything?
Well, the Smurfs, they used the word Smurf and it meant like anything.
Haley, Smurf. There's actually a website where you can go and change any website.
Have you
to
ever seen the
Smurf.
Smurfs?
Really?
Yes.
I've seen one
See,
on like the
that-
poster. Or
Okay, so
something.
You,
the
You weren't allowed to watch
Smurfs
either, huh?
in the
Yeah.
TV show
Yeah.
would say the word Smurf, and it could mean anything. Like I'm gonna
Yeah,
Smurf up that
careful.
mountain, and then up there eat a big Smurf, and do you understand what I'm saying?
I cannot tell you how much I dislike this.
Okay, well,
There are not enough words.
I'm gonna
Anyway,
do the
so-
game, by the way.
I despise everything
I'm gonna
about
make this a
this.
thing now. I'm gonna call them
I
all
think these
Smurf
guys
and-
should be
Smurf and
Smurf.
Smurf.
I like
No,
Smurf.
Smurf
That
and
checks
Smurf.
out.
Oh, Smurf and Smurf.
Smurf and Smurf.
Done.
Okay. And
oh
then
man, that's
like a law
Gosh,
firm.
guys,
It's like a law
no.
firm.
Smurf and Smurf.
Anyhow, you know what?
hate
My
that.
eyes roll off these things pretty quickly, but this one looks interesting
This
to me.
one really charmed me.
I
and
like
was
the
surprised.
theme.
Print and play.
I think it's
Or they call it
interesting, too,
Smurf
because-
and Smurf.
Sorry. It started to think.
Oh, they're just like. Oh,
Okay.
this makes me feel
This
dirty.
was charming.
This is charming, and I think maybe it's because the polyominoes, you're not actually completing anything. You're building a tunnel, and so you're going to have these open spaces and having to manage the open spaces. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's the artwork. Again, back to the simplistic games that actually grab you. This is one on the shelf I would pick up. And I can't even put my finger on it. Maybe it's the artwork, but something about it was just enough that if it was sitting back there on the shelves, I would pick this up and take it home.
Yeah, this one looks
agree.
really good.
Yeah.
All right.
Chaining Smurfs is very satisfying. Joey Evans.
So, dice sets with new
made me
D4
sad.
optimized numbering. So these are some really nice looking dice.
Those D4s are really nice.
I like that
that's
they,
fun.
the 20 here is done. Now some of these numbers again are not so easy to read, but that blue one,
Yeah,
both the blue ones
Both
pop
blue.
pretty good.
Yeah,
I really like that they
those
went
are
with that
good.
bronze color and then that gold color on
green
the
is nice, too.
amethyst. I think is really good as well.
just
I
these-
think bronze is underused. I feel like it's always
agree.
gold or silver, and I really
Yeah, I
like
agree.
that they used the bronze, that kind of tin.
How
look.
much is this set?
My problem with this is they're so sharp edged.
They really are.
They look like
Yeah.
they're gonna hurt just to roll.
Good point.
They're also
Yeah.
$50 a set.
That's okay.
More and more though, I'm to like, if you want to sell me on dice, bring them to convention. I'm going to want to pick them up. I'm going to want to touch them. I want to get them and go home with them, not order them and sit and wait.
You're
You
right.
know?
That's a big impulse die for me.
It
like
is.
Impulse buy, like at
Impulse
Gen Con-
die.
Impulse die.
Impulse
See,
die.
Impulse
It
die.
I
happens.
smurfed up. But
That's actually a good title for a company that makes dice. Is Impulse Dice.
it's a good point.
Impulse
Yeah.
Dice is a good name.
These Cerulean Cove, though, I think it's some of the nicest dice I've ever seen.
Those
I
are
really,
gorgeous. Those are
really like
gorgeous.
them.
Those ones right there.
And they pop. You can
Yeah.
read them. They look good.
I also
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that
really
the
pretty.
one number, the highest number, is
That's interesting.
magnified.
Yeah.
It's just a nice thing. Like, I
really-
rolled the best.
I really
That's a good
wish
point.
that on a
Yeah.
10-sided die, they would, instead of printing a 0, print a 10. I don't know why that bothers me
Yeah.
so much.
I agree.
You know what, though? I actually have, in a video coming this week, you can see it in my dice. I have some with 10 on.
Yeah.
The reason they put zeros on, though, is because of the percentage stuff. Because it looks weird if you rolled a 50 and a 10, and you're like, well, what? So they want that 0 so it can be 50. But it would be nice if there was then a separate D10 that had a 10 on it.
I'll give, this is probably the
Yeah.
best solution, is that they are highlighting the 0, right? Like the 20
Yeah.
on the 20-sided die has that has that hexagon around it. The 0 on the 10-sided die has the hexagon. So you know what? I'm okay with that solution. If I roll
agree.
it and I see it highlight it. I'm like, right, it's the high number.
I think
not the low number.
My least favorite thing with dice, and I think I'm in the minority here, is when they stick their logo on either the 1
That
or the
is
6.
the worst.
That is exactly what I was
hate
going to say. Is don't give me a 20 where the crit is your company
Anyone who
logo
does
or
that
something like
sickens
that.
me.
I hate
I don't want
it
to
so
smurf
much.
him in the face.
Because you don't know if it's a 1 or the 6.
So tonight our Backerkit's opening up. Please back our thing and get our dice with our logo on them.
Except for when we do
No,
it.
I still
No,
don't.
ours has a dice tower, if I'm not mistaken, with 6 pips in it.
Well, I did that so that you know it's a 6.
That's
brilliant. And anyone who does that
you
That's
play
different.
games.
a smurf.
You're
Wait, what?
Whoa, jeez.
You're like a
You want your
Smurf and
Can we
Smurf.
drop the
It's a good
Smurfs?
thing.
Good night.
Okay. Oh, also this purple set I like to
What are
think
you
better
trying
than
to
the blue set.
Smurf our Smurf.
I almost cussed.
Oh my goodness!
I really
All right.
You need to learn the word
I
Smurf.
really dislike
Mr. Meeple Board Games closed season 7. So
Wow.
I didn't. Have we seen the other 6 seasons? Anyway, I like
Sure, hand.
I like these Meeples with all these words in type things, but I would only want to get one if I could customize the words in it.
Sure.
Like if I don't like Arc Nova, which I do, but if I didn't, this shirt would not really.
It's so front and center.
It's
that
so
Arc
like
Nova.
Arc Nova.
That's
Right.
the only thing I can read in there.
I like when it's mechanisms. I think that's cooler than actual game names. I feel like the game names too, like you said, you're
Dated?
tied to ones that you maybe don't like or care about, or it dates it, like you said. Whereas mechanisms, I think that's cool. And also, it's like, what is the hand management? That's interesting. I think it's more of
Yeah.
maybe not the best one.
What do you think about? What do you think about this one?
Yeah, but we have to be careful about what we say.
It wasn't weird until he raised his eyebrows.
New adventure. Come on, look at the people. Is that good or bad? I'm trying to turn the ship.
Turn the ship right around.
Okay.
That one I don't like. Keep going.
Okay.
His knee.
There's
No.
mechanics.
No.
This
I
feels
hate
like
it.
this feels like someone put a bunch of stickers on a wall.
Yes.
There's no.
I don't have enough flair.
This feels like they made 12
Flair.
shirts and they were like, hey guys, let's pick one. And they're like, or let's shrink them all down and put them on the same one.
Hear me out.
Right. This looks like a hear me out
This is the
shirt.
car that cuts you off.
This one looks nice.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's good.
That's cute. Negative space, yeah.
Tribute to T.
No.
That's super inside joke.
Aren't
T
all of
games.
these though?
This is the best one.
Yeah.
Roll or die.
I wish Kenny would wear this shirt.
I
For you.
kind of like that
I
one.
wish
If was
those
that
dice
guy,
though had some sort of company's logo on them.
That's good.
Oh my gosh, no.
This one's cute.
Oh,
Cute.
I like
Never
it.
trust a goblin.
Yep.
Always yellow.
And then these, I
Hey,
feel like,
here we go.
That's mine.
Always blue. There's a passive aggressive way to be a jerk. Always red. If you
problem
want
with
these shirts to a
these-
convention,
the problem with
I will
these
pick a game
shirts-
that doesn't have that color to play with you.
A couple of them have secondary meanings outside of board gaming. Like always blue. People are like, man, this guy's always sad.
Always green.
Oh.
You're saving the environment.
Always green.
Oh, that's
oh,
true.
there you go.
Yeah.
What's always yellow? Oh, you're
Always
afraid.
chicken. Yeah. Always afraid kind of thing. Always red doesn't really mean
Angry?
anything, does it?
Anger.
Oh, embarrassed? Yeah. Oh, angry.
All right.
If you're red, are you embarrassed?
What about
Or you're a communist.
Mind Bug?
Oh, this is sponsored.
Oh,
That's kind of a cool one.
I like
I like
that
that
one.
one. I would
I got
definitely wear
Stargate out of that. I didn't get Mind Bug, but
Carcassonne.
Gross.
It's okay.
I think I'd like this more if it had. Well, what's he saying there? Like if he's saying something funny like "thou blocketh me" or something like that.
Yeah, Ludo, Ergo, something. I don't know what it said. I like that one. Pretty
I like
cute.
that one. It's cute.
I like
I like
workers.
that.
Yeah, it's a little busy.
effect.
Roll your roll.
I don't like that. It has the same problem as the one that had everything.
Oh,
Green Dragon.
that's.
That looks like an old shirt before you even wore it once, which I guess is the point. You
The
know?
magic
Are these
begins
shirts
with the
nice?
rule
Are
book.
they
Huh?
like soft
One
shirts
out
or
of
are they
25
like
times.
gilded?
No, I know, that's
I
like-
don't know. Do we
Not
know? Have
accurate.
don't you have one of these, Tom?
Of their shirts?
Yeah.
Of their shirts?
What do they
I'd
feel?
have to go back and look at the older ones. I don't
I
remember.
just wonder what they feel like.
Gatekeeper.
Gatekeeper like that.
Oh, I like
Benny
that
Lucy
one.
Vici.
That's cute.
Cats versus dogs.
I
Meeple art.
like that.
I like the Meeple art one.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I like the purple part. They could have dropped the surrounding part.
Yeah.
that is weird. Yeah, there's a disconnect there.
Oh, always
Oh,
purple.
well, they stuck him all down here by
it's
himself.
like
Epic. This is for Roy. Epic.
I do like
It was
that
a little
one.
tiny
I like,
there, but
I do like the idea of that one. I like that art style.
They got Cthulhu on there. This is new.
Oh,
this one
that's-
is not bad. The Meeple City. What? There's a
Yeah,
lot
that's
of shirts
not
out there.
Yeah, I like that
here's
one.
Oh, we're at socks now.
Oh.
Oh, this is what I have. I 100% have those autumn Meeple socks.
Yeah,
You have the
yeah, I
other one?
know.
I like the
I
far
do.
one. What is that? I can the Meeple. No,
And
Meeple
black
and Dice
dice.
Black.
Yep.
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I'll pull
Pizza.
out a bit so we. I also have those blue and orange hex ones,
Yeah.
and I have the purple. What am I? Am I wearing them now? No, I can't even remember what I'm wearing.
Oh, we got some leg there.
Anyhow, if we can move away from the harassment. The
Ooh,
t-shirts
any
are.
more?
How much is a t-shirt? 5 t-shirts for 82. That's not bad, really.
No, what is that like? Oh, it's math.
Again,
I'll get there.
for me though, this
12?
is a con
13.
thing. Like if
more
this
than
is at a con, this is that
Plus
impulse.
16 and change.
This is that impulse buy at a con, for me.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm still gonna buy.
I'm trying to remember what their old T-shirts look like. Do they have them? Are they in the add-ons? The old ones? See, I have the socks, and I have at least one of the neckties.
Ooh.
I don't remember if they've done T-shirts before.
Oh,
I
gosh,
think
yeah.
I have like a D&D
That was kind of their
one.
thing, wasn't
What
it?
is that? Like a shooting range thing?
None of them are available on the add-on thing. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe T-shirts they don't keep in stock. It could be like
Yeah,
they
probably
only...
a
on demand or
pain.
something.
Anyway, yeah, I feel like I've seen shirts from them before.
Are they
I like the look of their
conventions?
stuff. Yeah.
I have one. I got one at a convention. I think it was at Essen. That's like a D&D one. I'm trying to think if it was these guys or not.
All right, Divine Right.
Sword.
Welcome to the oldest, another sword pointing out. Welcome to the oldest game on our list. This is a
Yeah.
1979 fantasy board war game, which I have never played. And even though they are reprinting it here, I feel pretty confident I shall perish never having played this game.
There's some Dragonlands.
Thanks, Monica. Good to know.
This one.
What?
Monica just said she likes the teas that. Yeah,
So
sorry.
did I say something from
No,
Friends?
I didn't want to go
I was
back.
confused.
No. Monica said she likes these and uses them at cons.
I get
so, no.
All right, anyhow. Oh, wow. They
This
did not go
looks-
out of their effort to like modernize it at all. They're
I
like,
think it
no.
looks really old.
Yeah.
It looks like maybe 79 is calling, and once it's game back.
It definitely. It
people
definitely has
want it.
that. It definitely
People
has
do want
that
it.
feel.
No,
I loved the game back then. Oh, my copy's worn out, or wow, I forgot about that. Let me get it again. A nostalgia kind of thing because it
I agree.
definitely feels very old.
See, but I'm a sucker
This
for if
is
somebody loves a game, I'll be like, you know what? Let me see what you played. You know?
Yeah,
So I
no,
mean, if someone loved
I
this
don't
game,
know.
I'd probably play it with them. I would not.
That's
But
true.
that's different.
That's
Yeah.
true.
But you're also getting sucked into like somebody's nostalgia, and like that energy
Right.
is contagious.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
that's a positive thing for sure.
Man, when I was
is
a kid, I would have
backing
been
it?
all over
Nah.
this.
I would have
so
too.
much.
I'm
As a
glad
kid?
to see
Yeah.
there is something to be said. I know, like, the Restoration Games does a really neat thing. They're one of my favorite
Right.
companies. And what they do is take these old games and modernize them. That's amazing. But there is something to be said for finding a game from 79 and being like, no, we're going to reprint it exactly the way it was. Let the nostalgia reign. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and that was not rain, but forget it.
Right.
So, I don't know. I respect this. Am I interested? Not at all.
Yeah.
That cover
But I
is
kind of
not
agree
matched.
with you, Joey. This idea of if somebody else is like, oh my gosh, Divine Right is coming back. I'm going to get one. I'm like,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Show it to me when it comes in. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's a project I appreciate, but it's not for me. But I'm so glad it's there for those that are.
But it's almost like, okay, if you loved Return to the Dark Tower as a kid, and you
Right.
play the new one with somebody, I don't feel like I played that same game they played when they were a kid. You know?
right.
That's only
Yeah.
because the new one exists. So if the new one doesn't exist, you might do it.
Right, and I would, yeah. I mean, it is always a letdown when you play the game from the 80s, you know? Here's Hero Quest, try this. And you're like, okay.
All right, let's look at Joey's pick of the week. Quiltable paper quilts.
I already backed
This
it.
one-
Did
yeah,
you really?
it's ending.
I did.
All right, so this
What's the
is
deal with you,
a
man?
print and pray.
Print and play.
So this is a Smurf and Write.
You got to print some of these at some point.
I am going to soon.
He did it. I know. Just ignore it.
No, I don't want to do Smurf and Smurf. I'm going to do Smurf and Write because that way people know what you're talking about.
I don't
Smurf, right?
I'm gonna make this happen.
think that's any more helpful. No.
What about just like
No, you started this. You started the ball rolling,
This
and
is
I'm
your
going to
idea.
push it all the way
Yeah,
down
this
there.
now.
This is on you.
I'm so sad.
Anyway, let's talk about the game here.
Remember back when I knew?
This one is
cute.
Didn't know.
This one actually is not attracting me at all. There's some interesting ideas. I think it looks.
Name an interesting idea.
I will say I think it's an interesting idea that you can put a quilt square down, and just like when you're quilting, at some point you can move that square to somebody else. I think that's interesting. I think that is going to make this incredibly messy of a board as you're playing. It's like, I put it here. I mean, he shows at one point, wait, no, now I'm moving it down here and drawing down there, and I'm like, you know. So it's like, it's an interesting idea that I don't think is going to work. I would love to be wrong, but I don't see it coming to fruition very well. And like, I just think it's going to be a messy. I'm really sloppy in these games anyway, as I'm trying to draw.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible artist, and yeah.
And even this, they're not even showing good pictures in their example.
Right.
That's
It
what
looks-
my stuff looks like, exactly like that, and it bothers me. I'm like, thanks for pointing out to everyone at the table that I can't draw on my roll and write.
Right.
Smart and right.
This seems like a real, I don't know, passion project is the nicest way to say it. From someone who maybe hasn't played a lot of these kinds of games, I might be completely wrong in that, assumption, but I'm
Sucker
just,
Joey in the back.
I
Huh?
don't think you
it
are.
did, but it feels very like I've played one or two of these, and I bet I can make one. The idea of like quilting, now you can quilt at the table. Oh my gosh. I'm like, one of the best known games ever is about quilting. I mean, like,
It does seem
it's just, again, it feels a little sort of out of touch with gaming in general.
But my response to that is it's $5.
And my response to that is,
That's the stupidest
wasted
argument.
$5.
I know. I'm just.
You could have got sushi.
That's true.
You didn't get sushi?
I did, but not the $8 one. I'm not made of money.
It's like, I'm only part-time here.
Shut up right now. All right, moving on. Xenofera Galactic Market. In case you're wondering, this is 100% funded.
How'd you figure that out? Oh, there it is.
Outbid.
Wow.
Out-collect.
I do not remember this one at all.
Yeah.
Doesn't bode
This
well.
is
but-
small little, this is another little passion project. I like this little, like these pictures make me want to go to that world.
Doesn't? Yeah.
Yeah, it
might
looks
have-
fun.
I
It's
might
like
have missed this one.
It's almost a 50s
That's where like
sci-fi vibe.
It kind of looked like that one scene in the
Jack
new
Black
Star
where he
Wars
shows up. With
where they
Jack-
go to the gambling world in Star Wars.
That too. I was thinking where the Jack Black and somebody else shows up in Star Wars. Was that
Lizzo.
Lizzo? That and it looked like that. But
Yeah, that took me out of Star Wars for a minute. I was like, Jack Black!
Oh yeah. You
When
remember-
was this? What are you talking
Was it
about?
Mandalorian?
Yeah, it was a new season of Mandalorian.
Jack
spoiler.
Black is in it?
Yes.
I got it.
Have you already seen it? And
No,
you don't recognize?
obviously not. No,
okay, because
no.
if not, he's like really his character. You do not recognize as Jack Black. He doesn't hide it. He's very Jack Black.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I have not seen. I watched
Well, he acts serious,
2
though.
seasons.
He
of
does
it.
act serious, but
How many are there?
you were
3, I
12.
guess. How many seasons of Mandalorian are there now? 3
3. Well,
or
3.3.
we're gonna count Boba Fett. 80%
Boba Fett
of that.
doesn't count. It's its own thing.
There's like 2 episodes with just the Mandalorian. Okay, we're going to move on
Okay,
since
so-
no one cares about this project. All
Oh,
right.
but wait, that one I will say, I like blind bidding for some reason, like more than going around 2 or 3 times. The whole hiding it behind there instead of doing the hand. How many do you have? This has a little player screen. I don't know. I like the blind bidding
That's
aspect.
what I liked.
Okay.
Let's move on.
Same different. The hilarious new party game where all you have to do is think same different.
Hilarious.
This is my favorite paragraph I've read in a while. Is here. Here, right there. That
loving
first
this.
paragraph. Will you read that for us, Tom?
Around 6 or 7 years ago, I invented a game for my students during their English lessons. I didn't realize at the time that it would go on to take over my life. But bit by bit, year by year, there's no comma.
Yeah.
Bit by bit, year by year, he
He's an
teaches
English teacher.
Students of all ages and levels beg to play the game at the end of class.
This line.
Some even suggested skipping lessons completely just so that they could play the game. That's also known as every student in existence
Yep.
Yeah.
will always pick your game
Yeah.
over the lesson.
This is true.
Are you kidding me? This is what's prompting you to go
something
one
special.
step further because your game is special. I could show up in class and bring in a cow pie and 2 sticks and be like, kids, I invented a new game. And they'll be like, can we skip class and play this amazing sounding game, please? They don't care. Are you kidding? Yes, they want to skip class to play your game. It could be anything. This is unbelievable that he's like, the kids really like this game. This teacher's deep in denial.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Anyway, this is the whole idea of everyone has to pick something the same or different, but not partially same and different. And it's like,
Yeah.
This also is weird to me. The scoring in this makes no sense.
And then, like,
it's basically like if everyone picks the same thing,
Purposely wrong
you get a
answers.
point per person. If everyone picks a different thing, you get a point.
how does it
Like,
scale?
how does that even work with 6 people?
That's what I was wondering. Because
There's no way anyone goes
So you
for
always go
different.
for same.
You shouldn't.
Yeah.
No, because I like the idea of, like, you know, whatever, green team wins herd mentality, people be able to sit back on couches and hold up a sign.
Yeah.
But this one, 3 people looks like it might work, but it can't scale.
anyway, Green Team
Yeah.
wins and other games already exist,
I was
unfortunately.
gonna say, to me, this just looked like every other party game. I don't think it looks bad.
But I
I just
wouldn't-
think it looks like I don't. It looks like every other party game.
But most people would not skip
Maybe
their
the word
lesson to play green team wins.
Okay. Mad Gardeners. So, dive into a hectic. This artwork is.
I had a hard time getting
Chariot
past
chicken?
it.
You don't like that?
No, I'm trying to figure out where I've seen this art before. I feel like I've seen
Mad
this.
magazine?
No,
It's got its
not
own
quite.
style a little bit, yeah. This one looks okay to me. This is the kind of like tiny little indie putting out a game that I'm like pleasantly interested in. You know, somewhat interested. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll try it. They lost me a little bit with how many cards with writing that are in here.
Yeah.
That loses me a little bit. I'm like, oh, you have a lot of abilities on cards. But the general idea, strawberries are rare, so you buy them when they show up and you try to put them out in your garden, make sets, what have you. I'm like, all right. But that's a lot of cards with stuff written on them.
It's a band.
It seems very, I don't know, mass market-y, whatever you want to call that. Still, the look, the fact that they are a new company and this is the first foot forward, I'm like, yeah, all right. I kind of like
Highlights
the
magazine.
energy here.
Now, they do have
Yeah.
some angel investors, apparently. 153 people at $20,000. Some people are investing some money in
Yeah,
that.
right.
Does look like Highlights magazine. It's pretty funny.
Oh, yes. That's what that looks like.
That's exactly.
All right, Solace board game, a mission-based 1-to-5 co-op sci-fi game of immortals, and you're agents of a futuristic SWAT.
This one took me for a whole trip, like watching the story. Did you watch the trailer, the video at
Yeah.
the top? They're like, in the future.
90?
Yeah, like in the future, we're overpopulated. Okay. Then we discovered some metal that fell from the sky or something. Okay. With that, people became immortal. I'm like, oh, like 99% of the planet. Okay. It all like, it's like 3 other steps, and then eventually it's like, you're a cop in the future. fight bad guys. I'm like, what? Like, what happened to everyone's immortal, and why did that matter?
It helps overpopulation, by the way.
It's so weird. It was like a real strange, like a great world, and you picked the most boring thing in your mythology to focus on.
Maybe when you fight people, they can't die, so that's why they have the immortal thing.
Ooh.
Well, okay. You could just say you didn't kill them, you subdued them. That'll take care of that. It just seems weird, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they built this amazing, weird backstory and then didn't seem to use it. I just thought it was strange. The whole thing looks a little busy. I don't know. I wasn't feeling this one. I put it right in the same bucket as I put the first one we looked at. You know, except this is sci-fi and that one was fantasy. That's what it looked like to me.
I like how it's campaign or one-off missions,
That's good.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one I'd try.
Astrum.
Man, this is
So this is a game of
dark.
stars and constellations. I've already reviewed this game, actually.
Have you really?
Or, wait, no.
Just looks like one you.
Are you thinking
No,
of
never mind. I'm thinking of
Amygdala
a,
or
I am
something
thinking
like
of a
that?
very different game.
Yeah.
Sorry. But this is from the same people who made, well, it's from Cosmodrome, and I'm really surprised that it's not doing that well because this whole, from the designer of Aquatica, I think would bring in a bunch of backers based on that.
I think 2 things. One, it's the look. And 2, there's not much about the game. Like if you look at their how to play section right here, there's no.
Twinkle, twinkle. Oh!
And then the next one, it's another GIF here next that shows the next step.
Like it literally,
Like,
you're like,
literally,
huh?
this is the next how to play. You have a couple like animated pictures here. So the next one shows scoring or placement rules.
It's like, okay, I don't think I get it. You know what I mean? I love it. Yeah, this is
So
so.
it's like,
Where's the rest of the owl?
I don't understand at all. And this is it. The next one shows scoring, and that's it. That's your how to play. So there's also not a lot about the game.
Oh,
This is
oh, I get it. Got it. The
Wow.
dots.
And then you score.
twinkle, twinkle.
What?
12
so
points.
I think that's it. I think it's
You're right.
the game is very abstract looking, very dark looking. There's not a lot to it, but then it also doesn't explain anything about the game. And for me, it's like, cool, I really like Aquatica. I was pulled in because of that. As soon as I saw that, I was like, oh, fantastic. What? What do I do?
I'm
How
still
does this
interested
work?
in
like,
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
was-
I'm with you. It's just this game isn't presenting itself
Yeah.
very well. I'm
That's
sorry.
it. It's a presentation thing. It's not negative on the games. It's just its presentation is not bringing me in and giving me anything to keep me looking.
the
I know
instructions.
nothing about it.
Yeah.
The instructions have me at like a rest of the owl moment. You ever heard that? Where it's like you do a circle, another circle. The next step is now it's an owl, and you're like, hold on, there's something in the
Whoa,
middle. I
right.
was missing. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm missing so much
Yeah.
It's
about how
Alex
this game
Radcliffe's
plays.
ellipses, right?
Yes,
You need,
yes.
Yeah, I need that.
Chaining families is fun or whatever.
Okay. Mini Rogues Season 2. Has anyone played the first part of this? the
No, I
roguelike
want
board
to.
game? Have we even seen this? Has it come through?
Yes.
Where is it?
I don't know. It's at my house.
What do you mean you don't know
Is
that?
it on the board?
No,
Did you write it on the board?
Yes. No. The expansion came. I bought the base game.
You still should
So
put it
then
on the
it didn't
board.
come
The
through the-
procedure is to
Oh,
put it
the
on the
base
board.
game. I don't know if it came through and went out, but apparently nobody played it. I'm sure the base game came through. The expansion.
I don't remember
came
even
through.
seeing this.
I have to remember vaguely that font, that mini.
Or the
rogue or
artwork.
whatever. Yeah. Do you like it, Joey?
Okay, I have played it. It's a pocket a pocket dungeon crawl.
I like that
And you
idea.
didn't have to
I'm
print it,
intrigued.
right?
Right, right. Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think they gave that option, but
It's making a lot of money. I'll
but this
tell you
one
that.
goes from I think the first one was single player, which is the way I played it, and you can play two, but one of those you could barely play two players. This is supposed to play. I don't know if this plays up to 4 maybe. It's got multiplayer on this.
I like that this game
Okay.
has a lot more personality than these other card games we've seen today. Most of them, anyway.
Do you like the artwork in this? That was one thing when I played the original one. I don't know. The
It's
artwork
okay.
it fits the game.
I like it, yes. I
Yeah,
like that it has, again, even if I didn't like the artwork, at least I can look at it and go, this has personality. They picked
Yes.
the thing.
Yeah, it's
You know what I
very
mean? It's
distinct.
not like, give me generic, vaguely anime spacefarers. I don't know. I don't know how to put that. Like this one,
Yeah.
yes, it seems to have some personality, something that feels like specificity. I like
It feels
that.
like a decision was made. You
Yeah.
know, like hey,
Right.
and I like that.
It's a
not,
style, yeah.
Not a style trying to fit. Like oh, sell it to the fantasy people. It's like no, we like this style. It fits the game. You said I like that they represented it well. Then
All right.
First base game was print and play. Sorry, go ahead.
One of the
was.
biggest Kickstarters is Tiny Epic Game of Thrones, which has a pretty cool cover, and then the expansion cover. It's just
Yeah.
those don't even really match. And I mean, I think they're trying to match them, but that first one I think looks cool. The second one, well,
It's weird that they're going for so much stuff. Like miniatures in here. I'm like,
That was
why? This seems
interesting.
exactly like the kind of thing you don't do.
yep.
Right.
You're
And
going
that's-
tiny, epic, compact is what sort of the main thing.
And think
this
of-
feels so sprawling.
And think about that box size. Are these minis going to be like Destiny's size?
Yeah,
is.
You know?
right.
It
Like
is a
what?
given with lid lift on every single Tiny Epic game.
Really?
It's just
Is
it's
it?
just the way it's going to be.
well, not
every
the
time.
first ones, but
Not yeah.
But-
I am
Since then-
actually, and I don't want. I know I fall into this thing like I wish they weren't tiny. This one I think looks really good.
it does.
So put it in a Ticket to Ride site. They've done Heroes of Land, Air, and Sea. Make it a full game. I know they want to stick it in that Tiny Epic series, but this is anything but. It's not tiny.
I agree because I was like, no, I'm not going to fall from their Tiny Epic. Then I watched the video. I'm like, okay, this looks good.
Yeah.
But I wish it was an actual game.
Well, it's
I
kind of like
agree.
Herbaceous and how they have the game and then they went pocket size. You know, it's like time for
Right.
this one to go Tiny Epic. hold on, wait, just Epic.
Right, because it's
You know,
$40
normal Epic.
is the base of
Yeah,
this. And I'm like,
that's- ugh.
Don't you need both boxes too? I think you need the second box to do this full cooperative game.
So it's
I
not
might be,
actual tiny Epic.
I might
it really
be
is a
wrong
bigger
on
game.
that.
I think
Split
at first
in two.
you just get one box,
The battle
right?
for control, the competitive, and then. But if you want the cooperative, I thought you need. I mean, it's showing both boxes here.
I'm curious. Again, my question is, even here, this quote from Rado's like, it's as complex as Spirit Island and Mage Knight. I'm like,
Yeah.
Tiny Epic.
Oh.
Here's my question, okay? You guys tell me what you think. Do you think if they removed the brand of Tiny Epic from this package, there's clearly two branding ideas here, Game of Thrones, Tiny Epic, and just went Game of Thrones big box, how much are they losing?
I don't know because
Oh, I
they also
think
are
we-
paying more money. You know,
Why
to
are they
build
paying
it.
more money?
No,
Oh,
'cause
sure,
the
yeah,
whole
yeah, yeah.
production.
Yeah.
These Tiny Epic games are easy to produce. They're easy to store.
I get that, and ship, you know, you can fit more of them in a box, what have you.
I think more people are drawn in because it's Tiny Epic than the number of people that are turned off because it's Tiny Epic.
You think so? I think they'd make more if they didn't make it tiny.
Game of Thrones, though, that property has
Thrones.
lost a lot of.
It has. They
lately.
kind of missed the window. Yeah.
So I think, I mean, I wonder if there's a way that they could keep that branding Tiny Epic, but add to
That's-
it, you know what I mean? And just be like, again, Epic size. You know, call it something different that still maintains that brand that they've built up, but also showing that faith of like, all right, we've outgrown this box
Good
size.
point. If they would somehow rebrand, yeah,
Right.
imagine if they're epic zombies
24
and a big one.
millimeter
Yeah.
scale.
I would get that.
Absolutely. I got rid of the Tiny Epic one because
Drop
it's
the
too
tiny.
much. Yeah.
give us epic.
I really
zombies.
like the gameplay
Epic
of that,
Or do you know
though.
what 24 millimeter means? Like, I'd like to see it. I wish they'd put a penny in there. 24 millimeters is what? Well,
I can't
Wait,
imagine
isn't 24
painting those.
I don't know what 24 millimeters
wash 'em,
means
yeah.
because
Do you
Oh,
mean
you have
like
the
24
computer, just look it up
millimeters
right there.
to something?
Just
Is that
millimeter
the scale?
to inch conversion.
Or that's how big they are?
Yeah, I think D&D figs are what, 32 or something?
no, that's 1 inch then, right? Because miniature is 2.54 centimeters in an inch.
So these are an
so
inch?
254 millimeters
an
would be
inch?
in an
I don't
inch.
know.
So that's almost an inch tall, which is
Yeah, I
that's
still
bigger
just
than
think
I
they
thought
could,
actually.
About that big?
Yeah, so that's
just
about
below an
Destiny's
inch.
size. That's about Destiny's size.
Okay, tiny epic
Right?
destinies.
But,
If you think about
that's
that.
this big, like, so, I mean, D&D miniatures are almost 2 inches most of the time.
Right.
A little bit
Yeah,
less.
like 32 or
Like,
something.
that.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's like a regular miniature. So
Yeah,
you're
you're
looking
looking at like
a
that.
little one, right? Yeah.
They do have Joffrey dying in the video at the beginning, which is pretty good. That's a one clip they put in
I'm
there.
definitely interested in the game for
too.
sure. I'm going to play it. This is the Tiny Epic game that I've been interested in the most in a long time, and it's not even
Really?
because of the theme. I'm
Cthulhu
not even a
was
big
good.
Game of Thrones guy. I just think this game looks cool.
It
And they
does.
also knocked it out of the park with the other one based on that IP, the one
yeah?
John DeClaire did.
Oh, yeah, Last Kingdom.
Last Kingdom.
Well, that was them.
Yeah.
See, why didn't they do that here?
I don't get
I
it.
would- We've got a
I'll
Game
tell
of
you why,
Thrones.
because Last Kingdom didn't do well at all.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
it's because
that's
it was
not a big
Last Kingdom.
This IP is so much better than Last Kingdom. Last Kingdom was a great game, but this,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
IP,
Yeah.
I'm
I didn't realize
excited
that they had
for-
done big ones. Interesting.
They've done a few
They've
big
already done
games,
them
yeah.
then.
I have no interest in this. I don't know. Like I am not a fan of cramming something that feels big into a tiny little space. I feel like I got to bring out the tweezers and what have you.
but you
I'm
would
just
play
not
this
interested.
if it was a big game.
If it was a big game, I'd try it out. And then I
Yeah.
feel
Oh.
like the size and the delivery system fits what I'm doing. I want a little game to generally feel little. I'm not against this idea of a lot of game in a little box. These guys make a mockery of that.
I feel like
They're
this
like,
is.
ha ha ha, hold my drink. I'm gonna get in here and like really. I mean, come on, Mage Knight and Spirit Island.
Yeah. The problem is, I feel like this is always a lot of stuff in a little box.
Well, they're
Yeah.
not saying
And
that.
that's
Rado
where it
said
comes
that.
to that.
Who?
So,
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the Cthulhu
the
one.
Cthulhu one, I'm super excited
That's a spinner.
about.
Has a spinner on it.
Yeah, the spinner
That's all I
tentacle.
remember from that one.
Yep.
All right.
Project League is 24 millimeters.
I'm still going to play this. All right. Then we go to the other end. That was too small.
Yes.
Now we have too big. Castle Burgundy Special Edition reprint, which made Vuku's the first time around.
Buku dollars.
And now people are doing it again. $165 for the splendid pledge there on the side. And well, I've seen the production of this, and it is very, very nice. It's still a lot of stuff that you really don't need.
This is
Like, look at all the
insane.
expansions ever created. Do you need that many?
No, here's the thing, though.
$160 for Castles of Burgundy.
I've played this thing probably 2 or 3 times in the last couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Some of our game group loves this.
This version.
This
Version. And I will say, here's what way I got out of it. Okay, so bringing the castles in themselves as 3D, not needed, fine. But then the rest of the terrain as 3D, that becomes kind of fiddly. Almost, remember Castle Panic where you'd pull the tile, then you'd find the matching mini for it.
Yeah.
Because I refuse to do that.
Okay, well, that's right. Well, we didn't ever play it, we saw it.
I heard that this comes out with a crow tile that you can use instead of the 3D
Doesn't
ones.
come with them, but you can upgrade to them, which I do like.
Which feels like a
those.
downgrade, but yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
so
downgrade to something else. Yeah.
so that takes, you kind of do it during other people's turns because you're swapping the tile out for the minis to get that big photo moment. It's kind of fiddly. Now the
But you
vineyard
just said
expansion.
photo moment. I don't go into a game for a photo moment.
Why?
Only reason I
Then
play Roll
you're
High.
doing it wrong
That's
then,
what I'm saying.
okay?
I'm like a huge
want
themer
that.
like that. If it's going to interrupt gameplay, though, I don't.
Does theme even
it's-
exist if you're not posting about it?
No, it does not.
You've got to
But
stick your tongue
now,
out.
the vineyards expansion, I do like on this.
The
but
what
they don't,
expansion?
Vineyards where it adds some sideboard that you have a double
Right here.
hex
Oh,
tiles.
jeez, my goodness,
Okay,
man.
but this is a good expansion. I'm telling you, I actually like
That's
this because
great, but
it opens up the center.
this is the opposite problem I was complaining about in Tiny Epic.
It goes too
This
big.
is Castles of Burgundy.
I agree. The
I don't
vineyards,
need a production like, I don't know, like Hate in Castles of Burgundy.
So I have to say that I'm trying to
with
put
you.
myself in the shoes of somebody
Who
like
loves this?
my favorite game of all time, Spirit Island. If there's a version like this, would I get it?
Yes, you
I
would.
would.
You're gonna have to watch the
Actually,
top
so
100
everything
now,
I just
but all
said. No, the last one.
Oh, okay.
I just started mine. Mine doesn't start till Thursday, so there's no spoilers
You're still
yet.
writing it.
You are still doing yours. You're not done. But so I think that while I agree, I would never for Castles of Burgundy. If it is the favorite game, I would do this for most of the games in my top 10.
Yes, to be fair, like I'm not as excited about this one. I like Castle Burgundy. I don't love it, but they're doing Puerto Rico, and I'm very
Right.
interested in that
Yeah.
one because I love
Anti-Burgundy.
Puerto Rico.
Well, especially like,
get it, I
like my
get it.
favorite games that I have hundreds of plays on. You know, absolutely. I'm ready to get this big and this epic
Okay.
night, and everyone knows how to play, and we're really getting into the theme and selling the world or whatever it is. If this is your game, I can see a spot for it.
I'm just trying
Now,
to think of what
separating.
I'm trying to think of what Euro game that I really, really like. I would want this kind of production in. I'm not coming up with one right now, but I don't know. It just seems like exactly the kind of thing that's going to keep the game from hitting the table.
I'm telling you what, though, it doesn't happen. These big, overproduced Euro games that are not too complex but have big pieces, Foundations of Rome, gets pulled out all the time at content. So does this.
I think because it brings an experience to a drier game. That because you're like, what theme? I was like, right, but
Yeah,
at least
you
you're
don't need a
bringing an
zillion rules.
experience.
Okay, but here's also, I will say, removing that, the vineyards itself, if it was attached to Castles of Burgundy,
Talk about the
back to
vineyards.
it's a
vineyards.
good expansion.
I'm
That's the
not done
only
yet.
reason I like this. It adds a lot to it.
Well, let me see if you can buy just the vineyard. Hang on.
But you could not the
Can
first
Joey
time.
get just the vineyard?
I
Can you
and
get
the
just the
acrylic
vineyard? I'm
tiles?
looking. Nope, you got to get everything.
See,
Sorry.
and that I hate.
How much are the acrylic tiles?
Wait, someone reviewed the vineyards expansion on the Dice Tower.
That is me. Thanks for watching my stuff. I did do it.
I don't watch your stuff because you're stealing all the games and keeping them at home and then not telling you, writing it on the board.
I did, but okay, except for that one.
Okay.
But yeah, no, but yeah, that's it. The vineyards is really good. The box
Awkward
size is
Guess
not.
2, the Berwick cases. So Awkward Guess was a small little deduction game that came out of nowhere and really did
I
well.
agree.
It was a fantastic deduction game. Unfortunately, the follow-up, Scandalo, which ranks as one of the worst board game names ever,
Yes.
was not nearly as good or well received. So they went back to Awkward Guess, where one of the suspects in the first one is dead.
Finally,
Oh!
one of the twins.
Well, the twins
Twins threw me off.
always confuse people
Every
with the first one
time.
anyway, because they're like, there's 3 people in the room. You're like, I have it narrowed down to 2. Oh, the twins are 2
Yes, I know. I'm
people. To
like
the point where I now have to explain that every time we
every
start.
time.
This one, though, is not just another version of that first game. There is a lot of differences. There's dice for one. That was not in the first one.
No.
And you're still like asking each other questions back and forth, but you're also one person's investigating Beecher's case, and you're like investigating the different cases of the two twins. Like they each died in different spots.
Wait,
Oh, interesting.
Did,
So
did they both
two
die or
deaths.
just one died?
No, they both died.
Yeah, if one dies, the other one dies. That's how twins work.
I don't think that's how they work. Okay, I will say, if this makes setup easier, that is the only reason Awkward Guest has not hit the table more, because setting up that deck and looking through the app, that's a pain. And
I like that
breakdown.
though. I mean, it's also very much 3, 7, 9.
Yeah, but you also do it before the game night starts. If I know I'm going to play that, I'll have the deck ready. So
Oh, interesting.
I don't know how much they change it. I never played Scandalo because you just, after hearing about it, I was like, okay, not great. So I haven't played that one.
Do you think the mic got that?
I don't know.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm
so
hungry.
All right. Let's see. We got a couple more games here. We have Bugsnax, the card game.
Now, this one I'm surprised is not doing better. This is based on a
Really?
video game.
Oh,
That
is
was a webcomic.
that
The
I
video
thought,
game?
as far as I knew, I thought was very popular. Bugsnax is this little video game. You go around catching the little bugs, whatever. It's like a little farming
snacking
type
on
thing.
them.
Yeah. It shows up all the time. It's like, you know, I've seen it being advertised. I've heard about it a lot. I've seen it come across my screen. Never played it, but, you know, I'm aware of it. So I'm surprised that this isn't doing incredibly well. Usually, you throw a webcomic up there even,
Oh, right.
any kind of video game, and bam, it blows the doors off.
well, to the point that we'll see one like, what is this based on? Because why is it doing so well? Oh, it's a webcomic, you know.
Right.
This one, you know of it, and it's not doing.
I think because they're
Yeah.
barely showing any of the game at all.
That could be. It
I
also
don't
might be
know.
a game that isn't, the gameplay might not be appealing to people that enjoy Bugsnax.
I don't know
Right.
about
It's a fun
that though,
word, though.
because like it seems like they're selling the IP, which is if that's what people are being drawn in by is the IP, not
Right.
necessarily gamers, and so that. I don't know. I'm definitely in that category of I don't know why it's not doing better. I'm not interested. I don't know the IP or care, and I don't think the gameplay looks particularly interesting. But yeah, I don't understand why.
Yeah,
He's
I don't
holding
think
a
the
card.
gameplay looks very interesting, to be fair, either. But I also haven't played the video game, so I don't know.
Right,
I mean,
how true it is to
the
it.
names of those little things are pretty cute.
All right. Garden Geckos. So this one here, a puzzle laying game. This is from Tin Robot Games, and they
Garden
did.
Geckos.
What have they done? Let's see what other games they have done here. I don't think I played any of these games.
This one reminded me of that one that
Thanks,
we
but no
played
thanks. I like that
with
name.
the Vincent Dutray art. Tom, what was that called? Aqua? Or
Yes.
it kind of reminded me
yes.
of that a lot. You're not double stacking on top, but you're trying to put these gardens together and get your bugs on the right
It looks
connections, I guess.
abstract, but it looks good. I really like these meeples and the gecko. I mean, I like how it looks a lot. And again, you're right in my head. I'm like, oh, it's definitely like that Aqua game. It's definitely going to be
Yeah.
a place tiles, put stuff on it.
Yeah.
It's good, maybe not
Yeah.
great, but I'm still going to play it because I think the board presentation looks great.
Yeah, I think it looks a little busy for me. That's very. There's a lot of colors going on. I think I could quickly get lost and like, oh, do I have a butterfly to worm connection? Yes. Oh no, that's not mine. I was looking at the wrong color. Like I think it's too busy for me to comprehend. I tend to get lost in games like this. But that being said, I think it looks like an interesting game.
It
Looking
does.
at that, even just the small,
Yeah.
you know, examples they've got, and I'm assuming that's just a couple minutes into the game already.
Yes.
This is a headache in a box for me.
And that's also only 2 players because there's only 2 colors of geckos out there. So you have to make
Yeah.
sure that your gecko, your color of gecko is on the right color, connected to the same 2 things. It's a lot of things to check that I think
Pretty
I'll
cute.
personally get lost in. But
I might
looks
buy that.
interesting.
What is
Plushie?
it?
That is adorable.
That's really cool. I like that one.
Super
Garden
cute.
Gecko.
Super
Greed is
cute.
good.
Oh, that right there looks like one of those, like a
On the wall?
bookmark.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, like
that
you put
too.
the page between
Oh,
your
you're right.
Oh.
I was also thinking it was the thing on the wall that they
Yeah.
sell these in Haiti. I'm pretty sure I've seen
They
10 of those.
Haiti and Key West. Those, you buy those. Oh, look, go back to the little push little. Yeah, there you go. That's that, like that
Wait,
game
what
we
is
just played.
that?
Oh, okay. Don't give me bad flashbacks. All right.
Okay.
Those are the games. We have some
That's it.
other projects to take a look at. But first, let's
hear from Mr. Mark.
Streed. Hey.
Hey folks, welcome back to another Dice Tower preview recap. I'm Mark, and I'm here with Alita. And we just have a couple games to look at, so let's get to it. And first up, we have Project L Square One. Now, if you know Project L, this is a puzzly engine building game, but Square One does it with cubes. And you're working from top to bottom, trying to fill each row of the puzzle in order to complete it. And there's some interesting twists here. You can split and merge the different tokens, and you can create combos for extra points while you build up your engine, which is really cool. And our last game is Prowl, Clans and Cunning. Now this is a quick playing game. You only have 6 cards and you have to lay one of them down in front of you as the clan you've chosen, hoping to manipulate the track so your clan comes out on top. You will be playing the cards, moving the track up and down, kind of a tug of war really, to see which clan comes out on top. And also you will be changing alliances or allegiances quite frequently. And now for my pick of the week. So, I've been a huge fan of Project L for a long time, and Square One does not disappoint. I love how the combos work, how the engine building is, and how you have different types of mechanisms for making the right cubes that you need. So splitting and merging works really well, and it's a ton of fun. And the combos and engine building, just simply fantastic. Super puzzly game, and I love it. All right, folks, if any of these games look like they might be of interest to you, please check out our full previews. And if you want your game featured as a Dice Tower preview, please shoot me an email. All right, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the table.
All right, folks, one of the best things about driving is when someone is in the car with you and tells you what to do.
Oh my
that's
goodness.
my favorite.
Yes, that's exactly what I thought.
But sometimes you don't have any human being to go with you,
Right.
so you can get
So
an electronic.
At that point, what you need is you need to get yourself a Tamagotchi and put a hat on it.
Yes.
Yeah. This is dumb.
This is like this is like the
hate
worst
this.
version of those little robots we keep
They
seeing
are,
lately, where
yeah.
it's like we built in a screen that pretends it has eyes and a mouth, and then it like follows you around on your desk or some garbage. Except now you can put it in your car and be just a little more distracted
gonna
than
say
you
yes.
were before.
Because I was not
Because the phone ain't
distracted
cutting
enough.
it.
No.
The phone alone is not cutting it,
Will
kids. You need to text and pet Poki.
Right. Will this
Text
remind
pet.
me to check
Pet
my
the
phone?
Poki.
Will it remind me? Be like, hey, you haven't looked at Facebook in 5 minutes.
You seem to be at a stoplight.
Right.
Look at your phone.
Right, yeah. Be sure to check your phone so you miss the green light.
This guy
Person behind
plays.
you's gonna love you.
This guy plays slots while he's driving, and not at a stoplight. In the video, he's like, "You ever want to play slots?" And as he's driving,
He's like,
he plays slots.
I'm like, what?
It's like,
it happens, and I'm like,
my car
good
won't even let me like
night.
do certain settings as I'm driving.
I know.
But this
It
guy's
looks like you're driving. Thanks, car.
yes, it's like nope.
This is amazingly pointless.
But it's also funding. Like
I know, but
pretty
it's
well.
like it's
But it's
amazing.
so-
Like
As a gag gift.
it's just unbelievable how pointless it is, and somehow somebody thought we're taking this bad boy to completion. Like this is
Right.
gonna happen, and people are in. People are
And
in
again,
on this.
And
It's so overtly distracting.
Well,
Like,
it's like you use the carpool lane.
I like the two people getting together, and
Just-
the one guy brings it out, and they both look at it like,
It's like you tap it, and he gets sad. You can
Yes.
like pet, and it's like happy, or like
you break too
when you
fast.
turn, he like his little eyes go this way. I'm like,
He's gonna get real judgy. He'll
yeah.
go around a car and he'll look at you like, no, I'm done with this thing. Get off.
And
What is
his
the
judgy
point
butt's
of
going out the
this?
window. Yeah, I think it's just once again, just people can't stand to just focus on one. Just drive. Just drive. Just drive. That's it.
this is
That's all you need to know.
wild
Let's
to
look
me.
at other electronics
if there's
here.
a camera on the other side, I'd like it more.
So here's a modular backpack with power and selfie stick. This.
How did I miss this one?
The Lancer 300.
I missed this one.
So on one hand, I get it, right? This is the kind of backpack that if you're going to carry all this equipment, everything you have, I just would be worried about dropping it, the elements, anything, you know.
Sure.
Everything.
It has an exoskeleton
Going
built
outside.
into it, and in that exoskeleton, you can mount a battery,
a
a
proton
solar panel, your camera equipment, all of the stuff. My issue with this was not even the backpack. I'm like, all right, cool. It seems like a cool contraption. They were selling it to too many people at the same time. I think it's getting lost.
Yep.
You know, like if they sell me a pair of flip-flops, I'm like, all right, I get it. If I'm interested in flip-flops, I'll get
Yeah.
it. This is, are you a photographer? Or you like hiking? Or you want to go into a cavern and you need like a mounted light? Or, it's too many audiences, I thought.
Yeah.
How modular is this thing? Am I going to have to figure out how to put together your product? Because
Right.
I'm not interested.
This definitely seems like a specialty project or
need to
specialty
see this.
item that should be sold with high-end nature photography cameras, or
Yeah, I agree.
right there with the backpack, whatever it is. Pick one and focus on that audience. And I think from there, other people will get in the audience, because as an outdoors person, I'll find stuff to use outdoors and camping that aren't specifically made for that, but it's like, ooh, that fits that purpose, or like as a
Right.
board gamer, and you find those little at the dollar store, those little kitchen containers to store your components in. It's like, oh, cool, wasn't made for that, but that's neat.
Yes.
Doesn't need to be marketed towards me. That's what this backpack is. It's having an identity crisis.
What are people buying though? This is the $369. There's 85 people getting the $299. But it seems like most backers,
We're doing the dollar.
no, they're getting this. It's kind of spread out. Only reason I'm wondering is it's 153,000 with 400 backers.
Wow.
That's a lot of money per backer.
Yeah.
A lot of people are getting the money laundering package. Yeah.
I don't know, but no, it probably just means a few people like really believe in it. I guess. So this project has been all over my Facebook feed.
Oh,
the
really?
sticky stand, popsicle stands. Now, here's the thing. I think that this is really cool, but the way they're marketing it is idiotic. So on one hand,
Oh boy.
Basketball court?
no, the
You know
way
how it
they're
works?
marketing it. So here's the Facebook. I don't know if this was in the video here. The Facebook videos show a bunch of people playing a card game, and they all have popsicles, and they all have them sitting there, and then they pick it up and eat popsicle and put it back.
They don't always pick it up. You see one kid going,
Okay.
I'm like,
do that a
you're
lot,
out,
yeah.
we're going to ask you to leave.
I appreciate you acting that out.
For adults, first of all,
Appreciate that.
I don't remember the last time I was with a bunch of adults.
You guys want popsicles?
Well, popsicles.
Popsicles?
I like popsicles. Don't get me wrong. I
What
just,
color you want? Oh, you want the red one? I got you.
but also, if let's say you did come out and I gave her popsicles, I could wait the 5-10 minutes until you all like popsicles. So I think it's a weird way to market it.
break.
Now, for kids,
Oh, absolutely.
this is amazing. For little kids,
I agree.
That's great. I just think it's weird that they're also marketing it towards adults.
Oh, yeah, 'cause every time-
this is a kids project.
Yeah, every time they take, my son takes a popsicle and lays it flat down on the picnic table or whatever, and then 2 seconds later picks it up. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
that's
it's fine.
true.
Your immune system will be healthy later. It's good.
But the dad who has like
Investment.
4 popsicles is because he's holding for the call the kids, and then of course he trips and falls down.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah,
such
it's
like
like,
a
come on.
90s commercial.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
Has this ever happened to you? He grabs 3 popsicles, takes the 4th, and explodes. Like, no, they're popsicles. You're an adult man.
Yeah, I would use this for my grandkids. It's not in here, but I'm getting ads. It must be because I looked at it in
Yeah.
Facebook. But they just it's a bunch of 20-year-old people sitting around a table, picking up their popsicle, eating it, putting it back down, then they're playing like a card
Is
game
it
or
this
something.
exact product?
also-
you're gonna
Yes.
have?
Yeah.
I could see this
Really?
definitely being something at like a beach day or a cookout or something like that. But again, this is something you go to Five and Below and buy right now.
I know
I
it's not.
assume this exists.
Like just
yeah.
because this guy bought a 3D printer recently does not make this an innovative project.
Bobbing for popsicles. All right.
Yeah. I like they have the basketball court who's like playing ball and he's like,
I know. He's like, "Mwah, put it down, balling. Like,
Ballin'.
sometimes I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Popsicle, for goodness sake.
so weird.
You can take
yeah.
a second.
This already probably have with kids. It's worse with lollipops.
Yes.
Found a lollipop
yeah.
in the house.
Oh, for a
I want this
lollipop?
and Poki. I want to be like, pick up the popsicle, put it back down in my car, pet him, play.
Is he going to remind
Oh,
you? to
no.
get it? Yeah, yeah.
So, wait, here we
Oh
go.
my gosh.
What if you're on the gozy and you need to clip your nails?
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
do you mean grind them?
So this is
Grind them down.
interesting.
That's
Sharpen them.
This is a pencil sharpener for your nails. I want to be very clear about what this is.
All your
That's
nails
what
are
it really
like
is.
this.
Yes, and
Like
Ellen,
some kid took a pencil sharpener
Yes.
and put their finger and they were like, no, no, no.
oh,
What if I turn it sideways?
right.
Try it now, little Timmy.
Guys, it's making 91,000.
Somewhere
looks
out there, an
amazing.
elementary school shut down, and they're trying to repurpose and raise funds for the new one.
Would you use this?
Absolutely
Yes.
not. Would I watch
It
you do
scares
it?
me,
Yes.
actually.
I am
They do.
tempted by this more than I am willing to admit, but
Really?
Yeah, this looks very elegant. It looks incredibly well
Are you
done.
doing your sandals day here?
I'm telling you, I could definitely see myself. I can see myself while Streed is talking and Alita is getting the spotlight. I'm over here like,
Do we have to be here for that?
They already make this for dogs, right? They make grinders that you can put their nails in. It'll grind it down. But the difference is that is a
really?
long nail. Yeah, they're nice. They have little stops that you don't get on the
Your
quick.
dogs would not
But
let you
anyway,
do that.
but those are nice because the dog's nails are long
like
and
a
pointy.
cable.
But
Yeah.
this here, it's just making your nail flat.
I know
Like,
you gotta do the curvature yourself. You
No.
need to like. I'm telling you, I'm
Are you
tempted by
serious?
this.
Really?
How much is it?
I can't tell if
It's a
you're
lot
serious.
of
You're
money.
being
I'm
serious.
serious. Yeah, I would try it. I love also the whole like
64.
What
Not
happens to
bad.
your pencil sharpener?
well, a pencil sharpener.
Get something for your money.
You can't. You got to come at it from the side.
all
You
right.
see, I'm assuming it's also smaller.
There's also a fingerprint sensor.
Well,
or
we can
something
try it
on
right
there.
now. We got it in the office. Yeah.
Yeah,
do
my
it.
biggest fear is, fear. No, I agree. I'm scared a little bit. Like, I'm like, you do it first, okay? Did it hurt?
I am worried about. Yeah, this is. It's like that one man mower thing we saw, which was it would shave your face, but you basically like
Look like a lawnmower.
it looked like
It's
this,
just that exact thing. Yeah.
but like on a pushing lawnmower, and you ran it up and down your face. I'm like,
That's right.
it's gonna tear me up. This is that for your nails.
Now
But
they're
you're
only
okay
showing
with
us
that.
for They're only showing us for hands. You mentioned feet. I'm curious because I wonder if it's strong enough for toenails because my
don't
toenails
know.
currently need a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
No one told me about this part about getting older. That your
Wait, is this a
toenails
thing?
become like bone.
When? Like how old? I
Like
don't-
40.
Are yours that way? Mine are definitely that way.
Yours
My
are
wife's
that
like,
way, or are you just saying yes?
Oh, I use hedge trimmers.
I was just gonna say hedge trimmers.
I just kidding.
No, I
Wait, is
actually,
this
I
a
As
actually
you get
bought.
old, then your
What?
nails get tougher. Yes,
Why?
because you walk around barefoot in the jungle.
I don't know why. My toenails are thick and gross. Anyway.
I hate
Can we
this.
please move on
Why
from
did
your
nobody
toenails?
prepare me for this?
I get crab for.
No, I'm just saying if this worked for
Wearing
that, I
sandals.
would use them. But I wonder if this is not strong enough. They're not mentioning feet here at all, are
If
they?
this was made for toenails, it would have to be the size of the Dune popcorn butter. It'd have to be gasoline operated, and you have to like.
All right, last project. Here we go.
This man is a boss.
Multiple
Hero.
people,
I love this guy.
multiple people sent this to me, and all specifically mentioned Camilla.
They
They
I
said
would love it or
to
hate
protect
it.
you
Yes, I
from
love
the
it.
evil swarms of ladybugs.
Yes.
I salute you, internet.
This makes me so happy. Does it have
is great.
extra fabric so you can like stand up and walk too?
No.
Or do you have to?
Oh, figure out.
I mean-
One thing I could not figure out actually is, are the corners weighted? Is that why
Or
it's
they're
staying down so
no, I
nicely?
think it's stakes. I assume it's stakes. That's
Just
what it looks
build yourself
like, right?
an enclosed back.
Maybe
I
that's
went
what
on
it
a
is.
journey
Maybe
on
it is
this.
No,
stakes.
I am going to every.
This looks great.
Every
It looks
one of my
great.
son's soccer games.
'Cause-
every one of his diving meets, I will have this.
The
with me.
I
only
love it. You
reason-
can also just pull the little roof over you.
Are you doing this though so people don't talk to you? Because that's going to be a side product.
No,
She
I
just
don't
put
mind
signs
talking.
up on the side.
Yeah.
Do not disturb.
No, I got one of those little things we did last week, for the computer. Busy. Do not disturb.
Okay, I went on a journey because I'm
I
like,
love
this
this.
guy looks stupid. But then as I'm watching, I'm like, okay, I would.
Outdoor swim meets, man.
Yes.
With mosquitoes.
He has a cooler in his little
I
envelope.
love that the netting
Yeah.
is fireproof,
Absolutely.
and I'm not sure why.
There's a fire, everyone's running. I'm like, I'm good.
I don't think that's what that means.
It's like, I'm pretty sure that guy started it.
You can sit next to the grill then.
Is that what?
You can grill through the.
Oh my goodness. I do not understand.
this so
He
much.
definitely just one day noticed that fabric is fireproof and he's like, well, I'll feature it. It doesn't, but why?
I was a happy
It's a
little
safe place. If
accident.
there's
He's
a,
like,
like you're in the middle of fire, like get in the mosquito net. You're like,
You're in the middle of a forest fire. You're like, I know.
oh, this makes me so happy.
You
Yes,
show up with the news. It's
How
one
much is
patch of
it?
grass.
I don't know. Did you buy it yet? Please.
No, I'm not getting one of these.
Why? We need it for the backyard.
I hate this.
Christmas presents for the office.
This is very cool.
Oh, there
I
it is.
like
He's 10 steaks.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
that
yeah.
makes sense.
I love it. I need this.
Yeah.
This is cool. I'm taking it.
100%.
But-
Oh my
but-
gosh, and you wouldn't get rained on either on
But
the
do
top?
do
like a
no
little misty?
CMs make it through? That's what I want to know. Those little,
Oh, I didn't even know that.
They probably do. They're very tiny. Yeah. I don't know.
oh, gross. This
Yeah,
is the same
that was
one?
unnecessary.
All right. Well,
I love it.
Sketch.
It's time
That sketch
for
is
love
good.
it.
picks of the week. We're going to start with Mr. Mike Delicio.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike Delicio coming to you from the Midwest Annex. And for my pick of the week, I'm going to be going with the jazz-themed trio from Bitewing Games. I had a chance to play Bebop and Cat Blues, both at Dice Tower West, and I really enjoyed both of those. Bitewing has done some really nice productions in the past, and I feel pretty confident that they're going to do very well with this one too. So there you go. My pick of the week, the Jazz Trio. Let's find out what everybody else has to think.
Well, he was faster again because there wasn't a single person here surprised by the pick.
That's true.
all.
He's like, you all know.
Bye week.
Anyone else have a pick?
I have a pick.
I do. I'm going to go with that little mole one, that little mole flipping
Really?
right. Like I said, it just charmed me.
First of all, it's a Smurfing, right? But go ahead.
It is not. So I was really charmed by this, whether it's the art or the tunnel building instead of actually going for like a polyomino completion. I did think it was interesting to start the game that you flip over a couple of those and everyone has to like block out parts on their grid to start. So you're kind of having these obstacles you're going to have to work around in it. I was very much charmed by this. Do I think it's innovative and going to blow the doors off or anything? No, but 100% I'm excited about this to try it out.
You'll be
I was
happy to
very
know I
charmed.
backed this.
Did you? The full one or the print and play?
Well,
I'll do the print and play. There's no judgment. I don't mind.
Okay,
I'm
it's a
there
print
either
and
way.
play.
I'm there either way.
I'm going to put like a stopper on the work printer.
Telling you, yeah.
I'm not paying
Put
for
a
your
code on
mistakes.
it. Put a code on it.
one
gonna be
week
like-
you're gone.
It's going to be bring your own ink.
Yeah.
When you're getting Amy's. Mine is Awkward Guess 2.
Oh, hey, that's also mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
'cause that's what.
interesting.
If they can trim down setup and breakdown, I'm like
That
this
part I
is-
don't care about.
Really? Okay.
I mean, that setup I think is necessary for the game. I don't see how to get around it. It's the gameplay itself. The biggest
So good.
the biggest problem I thought Awkward Guests had is that you have a
Misprints?
piece of information and you refuse to trade it with people. So you just sit on it or you keep trading
Right.
the same stuff back and forth. It's a little wonky. I wish there was a way for more forced trading. But this looks interesting to me.
And there were a couple of misprints you had to kind of. I think they fixed them in later editions, but the first one had a couple of mistakes on the player screen. But I like this game a lot. I think it hits every time I bring it out because it's kind of like Clue on steroids type
Also,
of
the
thing.
very, very ugly artwork is growing on me.
Really?
It
It's
really
its own
is.
thing, for sure.
Again, back to what we said before, they chose something they stuck
Yeah,
with. You
I
know,
like the
applaud
personality
the
in
choice.
They leaned into it. They're like,
Yeah.
you know what? This is what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
So my pick of the week is going to be the Rome solo game of the month.
Really?
Yeah, Rome Fate of an Empire looks really interesting to me. I like how much it seems they're getting into that game, like how much they're shoving into 2 decks of cards without it being tiny, epic, whatever.
Right.
You know, I'm
I
not
agree.
like, geez, I need tweezers or I wish I had a little more room. But it seems approachable. It seems like something I can quickly set up without taking too much table space.
Yep.
While not being a dumb solo game. It seems like there's some strategy and some tactics that are going to go into this thing. I'm digging the look and what's happening in this one. This is one I want to play. If this was here, I'd try it today. I like what's happening in it. I am very captivated by it. I might back that one.
I agree. That was
After the toenail.
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be first. Get the extra large one. Gang, 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 gang.
Well, there you go, folks. There you go. That's our Kickstarter and GameFound and Backerkit projects. We'll be back in a week doing this, but we'll also be back quite a few more live things this week. We'll be back at 1 o'clock today, which is just it's like an hour and a half away. I better know this thing. All right, thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
I'm Camilla.
I'm Joey Evans.
We're cutting our nails. Hey folks, thanks for watching another one of our videos. If you like our videos, if you like our channel, you would love to game with us at one of our conventions. Check out Dice Tower Cruise, Dice Tower East, and Dice Tower West. Fantastic conventions where we play games with wonderful people, a humongous library, and lots of other events and stuff.
Also, don't forget to check out our channel, like and subscribe. I'm Tom Bassel.